Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your continued support. Kenyans are still discussing President William Ruto's Mandera tour because a lot was really exposed. Apart from Ruto's personal aide, Farouk Kibet, who roughed up and ordered the Mandera governor, Mohammed, to curtail his speech and hand over a microphone to someone who was maybe more friendly to William Ruto. There was another moment of reckoning when President William Samoei Ruto today broke the norm and addressed the crowd on top of his presidential vehicle instead of addressing people from the podium as usual, the way they usually do, because all the leaders who are there, including Eden Duale, the Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, addressed their people in the podium. Now, when Kithure Kindiki introduced and welcomed William Ruto to come and address his people, people were really shocked that William Ruto did not use the same podium which other leaders used. Instead, he chose to address people from his official presidential car. And one of the things that were at stake was the security situation in Mandera after 5 chiefs were abducted by the Al-Shabaab. Kindly take a look.
Sasa ni jukumu langu kwa heshima kuu kuwauliza tushangilie na tupige makofi tukaribishe kiongozi wa taifa Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto. Moja, mbili, tatu, nne. Shacabku salaamaya satirka ya ku ilaaliye. Shacabku salaamaya satirka ya ku ilaaliye. Sada al-Qur'aniyo sinani ya adalat ban. Sada al-Qur'aniyo sinani ya adalat ban. Ama wada sugaynaye saldigagu wa sharafkay sahankagu wa gulay sabakagu wa nabade sabakagu wa qaylay islamad barwaqade sodaaya sodawo madaxweyne basi sodawo wana wa Mandera, hamjambo. Mandera, assalamu alaikum. Watu wa Mandera, viongozi wote wenzangu, wacha kwanza nichukue nafasi hii kwa heshima kubwa kwa watu wa Mandera niseme asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha Mandera siku ya leo. Mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, usalama ni kitu ya muhimu sana. Usalama wa taifa letu la Kenya ni ya muhimu sana. Tunapigana na wahuni na wakora na wahalifu pamoja na magaidi. Na kwa sababu hawa magaidi tumewalemea jana, kwa sababu ya kutaka kulete hali ya hofu sehemu hii, ati walienda wakashika machifu wetu. I want to promise the people of Mandera, hawa machifu lazima warudi nyumbani, na hawa wakora na wagaidi na wahuni tutabambana na wao. Nimekuja na Deputy Inspector General wa polisi yuko hapa, Bwana Masengeli, na nimemwambia Bwana Masengeli yuko area hapa. Bwana Masengeli nishamueleza ya kwamba juu chini, kulia kushoto, mbele na nyuma, east or west, mpaka mambo haya yatatuliwe, kwa sababu we have significantly downgraded the ability of the Al-Shabaab to unleash violence to the people of northern Kenya, and we will not stop at anything until we make sure northern Kenya is safe like any other part of the Republic of Kenya. Walikuwa wanafikiria ya kwamba wakifanya hiyo maneno walifanya jana, ati ndio nisikuje hapa. Mimi sio ati nimekuja Mandera, nimekuja na Mandera na mimi nalala Mandera, na ikizidi naweza kulala tena, kwa sababu hapa ni Kenya, and I must make it absolutely clear that every part of Kenya is important, and we are not going to cede an inch of our country to criminals and those who want to unleash mayhem in our republic. We will go after them, we will deal with them, and we will eliminate them.
Now, if you listen to William Ruto carefully, William Ruto is saying that the Al-Shabaab abducted the 5 government officials to scare him so that he stopped visiting Mandera as had been scheduled. And he was telling the people that he was brave enough to go to Mandera to show them that the security situation is under control. And he was telling them that he will spend the night in Mandera. Let me ask you, do you believe William Ruto will spend tonight his night in Mandera? I don't think so, if you ask me, because the reason why William Ruto chose to address that crowd in his official presidential, vehicle is because he was scared of the Al-Shabaab. And I think due to after security scrutiny and assessment, they advised William Ruto to use that vehicle. Or William Ruto himself maybe was afraid and decided that he was going to address people because it would be very easy to rescue him, to evacuate him in case of any emergency. And there have been divided opinions. Some people are saying that yes, it is good for our president to be protected because anytime a president is no more, then it leaves the country in kind of a mourning, emotional, attitude or somehow constitutional crisis. And others are saying that this is the moment when William Ruto should know that the same way he's scared about the Al-Shabaab insecurity, is the same way other Kenyans are even feared of the insecurity, not from Al-Shabaab themselves, but even from the security apparatus that abduct people. And then William Ruto is also saying that he was giving an ultimatum to the Al-Shabaab, and he's saying, we are coming for you. We are going to get our chiefs. And I was like, what is the difference between those assertions and the promises that William Ruto usually gives? Because I was trying to compare them. When William Ruto was telling that we are coming for them, juu chini, kushoto kulia, I don't know what, all those. What is the difference between what he was telling us and what he's usually saying during campaign words? It was good for the ears, and I think when the president gives that confidence, then others will live without fear. But we need to see more action. And other people are asking, really, why should we be reactive rather than being proactive? They're asking, why should we, sleep on the job? Then our chiefs are abducted, then we come up, breathing fire. And some people are feeling that maybe this is a wake-up call to the president. Now, this confirms to us that indeed the insecurity in Kenya that we have been talking about is real. It is real because were it not for the abductions of the government officials, because as I said earlier, the government is represented at the local levels by those assistant chiefs and even chiefs. Even at the highest level, we still have the deputy county commissioners and the county commissioners. So whenever they are abducted, it is because they are in the administrative system. If you go to any office of the chief's camp or those where they operate, you'll realize it is written the office of the president because they work directly under the office of the president. So that is like touching William Ruto. Why not for the abductions? You will still hear them saying that the security in the country is under control. So this has really exposed them. Indeed, there is insecurity. And many are asking, why, for example, do we export our policemen to go to Haiti when our security itself has not stabilized? It's maybe just a food for thought. Number two, William Ruto has also shown that he's also human. And when Kenyans express their fear, William Ruto should also listen to them. This is a moment that we should know that we do not play politics with our security. If it were, for example, maybe an opposition leader, let me talk of Gachagua siku hizi amekuwa opposition. If it was, for example, Gachagua who had talked about the insecurity in the country, they would have bashed him. But now there is a moment of reality, and William Ruto could not afford to address people from the very podium that others had used, because that is the very podium that all the other leaders had used to address the crowd there. So it is a moment of reality for William Ruto to understand that the same way he's scared about Al-Shabaab, Kenyans are scared of the police or whoever is in charge of the abductions. When Kenyans are being abducted, they get missing, and sometimes they're not even found. Others are found dead. Kenyans are scared of thugs and Al-Shabaab. So he should also make sure that the same way he protected, you saw the number of security officers around him. That is the very efforts that the government should make to protect other Kenyans. Because I always say one thing, William Ruto, together with the security apparatus and all the leaders who are there, are maintained exorbitantly with taxpayers' money. So it is good to protect our president. It is good to protect the deputy and all the MPs. But it is even more paramount that security begins with that they protect the Kenyans who are paying taxes to ensure that those offices are maintained. And I think from now henceforth, we do not want to hear MPs or leaders who are saying that, anyone who is talking about insecurity is playing politics. It is real. And that is why William Ruto refused to address people from that podium, knowing very well that should anything happen, then if he was in that podium, then he would suffer the consequences. It would be very difficult to evacuate him. Ladies and gentlemen, did you also notice that William Ruto talked about the insecurity for like about 5 to 10 minutes, if I'm not wrong? Then he switched immediately to affordable housing, the jobs that they are creating. And as I told you earlier, that forum was meant to restore confidence that security is under control. But it was also meant, as usual, for their campaigns. Security in the country is something that we must not joke around with. William Ruto gave an ultimatum, and I think with the very strong words that he gave out, they are going to put the same strength in terms of the search party, whether they are going to negotiate, whether they are going by force. They should also ensure that they exert as much pressure that is equivalent to the amount of promises and the words that he was telling us. Because William Ruto is full of making promises, assurances. Nitafanya hii, tutafanya hii, tumetenga. Yet, sometimes when you look at them, even 2 years down the line, there is nothing. So we really pray that they are going to put every mechanism to ensure that we get the government officials. But moving forward, we should be proactive so that we don't wait for something to happen, then we start looking. Let us have the security, tight security for not only government officials, not only the president, not only ministers and all that, but mwananchi wa kawaida. Let the life of a president be as important as the life of an ordinary man. One life lost is just two lives many. And we are saying that the very sensitivity that we placed on the life of our president is the same sensitivity that we should put and focus on the life of an ordinary individual. That has really exposed them. And the fear that William Ruto expressed should be reciprocated and they should know that even the ordinary mwananchi is suffering from insecurity. William Ruto has got, you saw the number of security, the GSU, I don't know whether the Recce squad or what. He was there for only one day, and I believe he's not going to spend any night there. He'll fly back to Nairobi. He's going to leave all the other Mandera residents there with no security. If a whole president can be that scared, what about you and I? Ordinary, I want you to not have security. How did it happen that not one, not two, not three, but 5 chiefs were abducted? Al-Shabaab is giving us a wake-up call that our security is wanting. Our policemen who are supposed to be manning those chiefs camps and all that are in Haiti. They are busy trying to quell tension in Haiti, yet we have a lot of panic and tension in the country. It does not add up. So, ladies and gentlemen, people have really discussed this, and I've seen pro-government bloggers are saying that, that forum where William Ruto was a bit squeezed, and so they needed some expanded space, and that is why he addressed people from the vehicle. We know why he did that. He was really scared of the Al-Shabaab. That is the truth. It is not bad to be scared. He's human. The only thing we are calling upon is that he understands that the same way he fears for his life is the same way other Kenyans also fear for their lives. Every life matters. He should now ensure that there are no abductions, no thugs. I'm happy he tried to reduce the insecurity from bandits, those bandits who are stealing cattle. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but our president was scared. And as I said, it is not bad to be scared, but let him also understand that his life matters, just like the other Kenyans' lives matters, just as his life matters. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.